Hello, this is my video for SP number 8, I Deny. So, background on the project. The goal of this small project was to not use any social networking or social media for 24 hours. So, no texting, no Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, no internet surfing. Really, the only thing we could use our cell phones for is to make phone calls and send emails if necessary. So I thought that I would give it a try starting yesterday. I started off by just making a blanket Facebook post saying that my phone was kind of acting goofy, so that if you needed to reach me for the next 24 hours, to just call me, because I figured that would be easier than having to try to explain what I was going to be doing for this project. So my family and friends knew if they needed to get a hold of me that they would have to call me. So that was the start. I started from there, and then I went, just a little after that, I went to work, and that's where the success of the project mostly was. I was at work for about 6 hours, and that worked perfectly because I was busy. I had my cell phone, in my cubby at work. I was on the floor. I was working and hanging out with coworkers or doing my job, and then when I had a 10-minute break or a half-hour break, I just hung out in the lobby and worked with one of my other coworkers on on a crossword, so I didn't need my phone with me. So that part went really well, and then I got off of work, and I had already had plans earlier in the week to go to a play, kind of a show that one of our friends was in. So I called one of my buddies that we were going to carpool with. So I got all that all taken care of. Spent the evening hanging out with a bunch of friends, going to a show, and at that point, I think it was I hadn't gone on Facebook or done any of that kind of stuff, and it wasn't bothering me because for the most part, I was spending my time with my friends or in a show, watching a play, where my phone was off. So I would say for the first 10 hours, once I started the project, I felt no need to go on my Facebook or to text anyone. I was with the people I was supposed to be with, and I'd had those plans already. But later on in the night was when I failed on the project. We had hoped to meet up with other people after the show was over. We were gonna go get some like late dinner or a snack, and then at that point, I really, really wanted to use my phone to text people, but I just asked people I was with. And when we finally met at a restaurant, that was fine. I still was not texting, even though at this point I was starting to feel like I wanted to. Um, but then maybe an hour after that, we decided to go to another friend's house to hang out, and I was the driver, and I got lost. So instead of getting everyone else upset, I just texted my friend because I needed to get directions to their house. And before I even realized it, I was like, oh, there we go. I failed. I used my technology, my little phone device, to send a text message. And then from there on, I thought, well, cat's out of the bag. So, yeah, I did not make it a full 24 hours. Um, I just, throughout the project, I realized how 100% completely um, dependent I am on my cell phone. Not only is my cell phone what I use to text, call, email, I also use it to check my Facebook, check my Instagram, um, and if I get lost, I use it for directions. It's how I check the weather. It's everything. So um, I don't know it would be really difficult after trying this project one time. It would be really difficult to go a long period of time without my cell phone. Obviously, you know, it's nice that I could have used my phone just to make phone calls. I think I can do that, but I I just find it very easy to text people. It's easier. I can text multiple people. Sometimes even if I don't have their cell phone, I can get in contact with them through other social media if I have their Facebook account. So I definitely see that I am completely connected and wired in to all the possibilities that my phone gives me. And I think another thing that I reflected on after I realized I had failed on this project was just how different life is now than it was just maybe 10, 15 years ago. I remember when I was in junior high, not a lot of people had cell phones. They were just starting to come out, and these cell phones didn't really have text messaging. Even just 5 years before that, when I was in grade school and no one had cell phones, um, I remember my dad and mom had a beeper pager, but I mean, they were really very basic in what they could do. And so, just in the time between, the early 90s to now, in that 20-year time period, it's amazing what this technology can do with cell phones, tablets, computers, everything that we can do and use to stay connected all the time. So maybe if you had asked me to do this project 10 years ago, I probably could have not used my dinky Nokia phone to do any text messaging. I don't think I had a MySpace or anything at that time. But in this day and age, um, it's pretty obvious, having only made it about 10 or 11 hours without having to use my phone, that our society, and me included, are completely dependent on our cell phones. So that's equal parts kind of exciting because I think it's great we have this new technology, and also a little scary because it's dangerous that a little 3-inch gadget controls that much of my life. So for SP number 8, I was not able to go full 24 hours. I was happy with the 10 to 12 hours I was able to make it, but it was pretty insightful to see how much I use my phone for. So that's it for this project. Thanks.